downtown South Africa. Every day, millions of people flock to the country's inner cities to work, to shop, to do business, to live, to create value in the services, transport, government and retail sectors. For decades, the inner cities of South Africa have nurtured enterprises big and small, the machinery of government, and the dreams of millions. But from the 1980s, the inner cities began to decline. Capital and skills fled to the suburbs. Once prestigious addresses were boarded up, apartment blocks decayed. Criminals roamed the filthy streets. But still, the people came to work, to trade, and to seek opportunity. And they came to live. By 2003, commercial banks were refusing to lend to property investors in South Africa's inner cities. But still, the demand for affordable accommodation close to the people's place of work and opportunity grew and grew. In 2003, the Trust for Urban Housing Finance, TUHF, was born, with a balance sheet of just 10 million rand. Born from the belief of a few good men and women that South Africa's inner cities could be turned around. More than 10 years on, the story of TUHF is one of the great success stories of democratic South Africa. It is the story of a financial institution that has achieved astonishing success by backing entrepreneurs and investors who otherwise had nowhere to get finance to buy, renovate and run buildings housing thousands. This is the story of TUHF, the story of a belief in a dream that has defied the skeptics, defied the crime and grime, and even defied the worldwide economic crisis of 2008.
We are TUHF, straightforward, approachable, street-smart financiers on a mission to provide commercial property finance solutions to entrepreneurs from all walks of life who share our passion for affordable rental housing, urban regeneration, and creating impact through scale. We see what others don't, whether it's the incredible resilience of South Africa's inner cities, the beautiful, safe accommodation hidden in rundown buildings or township properties, or the potential of ordinary people to do extraordinary things in the communities where they live and the areas they grew up in.
As TUHF celebrates the 20 year of seeing what others don't, I think this milestone needs some reflection. I can think back in 2003, it was a partnership between a company called ICAT, another company called Social Housing Foundation, another one called NHFC, and another one called Nature. In that partnership, they actually formed what I can call a transformed ICAT joint venture. In that joint venture, they gave the new entity a new mandate, and that is to make affordable rental housing available in the inner cities. It was firstly ingenuity of ICAT that actually provided about 11 million rands, and NHFC, which actually capitalized, so to speak, the new entity, which was now called NAFT, which stands for National Urban Housing Finance Trust, later to become TUHF. It was also the foresight of the NHFC of giving TUHF the first loan of 50 million rands, and TUHF opened its doors on the 1st of June 2003. And so today, as we celebrate, this is exactly the day when the doors of TUHF were open, NAFT then, in 2003. And at that time, NAFT had only 2 employees, and that was Paul, the current CEO, and Nano. Those were the only 2 employees, and they had only 2 clients. The reason why TUHF actually stems from my earlier statement in that the foresight that NHFC showed in providing TUHF. I mean, a newly formed company, you just give it 50 million to start doing business. You must have had some confidence that they'll be able to do it. The fact that we wanted to support TUHF in making a difference in the regeneration of the inner cities in our country. That was what actually made us decide that. But secondly, and more importantly as well, is the fact that it actually gave us an opportunity as an HFC at the time to increase access to finance and land reform and scale up delivery of affordable rental housing in the country. NHFC had its own objectives, which is so being aligned to what TUHF was doing, but also seeing it as an extension in terms of making that impact to scale because of the opportunity that it presented. Now, no wonder then I can say that 10 years later of TUHF's existence in 2013, NHFC had already invested 400 million into TUHF, both debt and equity. I must say that one of the key successes of TUHF has been the fact that as TUHF we were able to crowd in other impact investors in the market. But secondly, TUHF had a strategy of regional growth, not only doing it in Johannesburg or in Gauteng, but to make sure that it covers the major cities. And in the end, in actual fact, TUHF impact is in the 8 major cities in our country and in 5 provinces. So that in itself speaks about the need for regeneration of the inner cities, especially the major ones. And TUHF has touched on all of those in the 5 major provinces. For me, it has been a great opportunity. It has been an honor and a privilege to really provide leadership to the board of TUHF during my tenure. And I did that with a clear sense of shared purpose. And because of that, I was part of a team, right, that was firstly with management, led by an excellent CEO like Paul, and part of an excellent board, which is regarded in the industry as experts, right? And I believe we've done a good job in successfully positioning TUHF as the leading impact investor in our country. So these are really my highlight. Yes, we're celebrating the 20 years of TUHF as an impact investor. Let me say, if I were to, looking back, the first 10 years of TUHF was positioned as a good business doing good, right? And the next 10 years of TUHF, it was positioned as we speak now, 20 years later, as a leading impact investor. But we're looking forward into the next 20 years where TUHF will actually demonstrate and achieve impact through scale. That is the journey that we're still part of and continue to support to this day.